The lights are off and away they go.
Extremely loose. He's managed to hold on. He missed the complete that. He's crazy stuff.
Side Freitas is on the grass on the infield floor. He slides through. He tags Richard Eck.
Hello and welcome to Auto Club Speedway for the 8th round of a 2016 iROC HPP Simulation Grand National Series live on the Global Sim Racing channel. Hi, I'm Samuel Ryman, and alongside me in the booth is Tanner Sharp. Down in the pits is our pit reporter Chris Scala, and behind the scenes is our director Joe Peak. Our camera sets today are brought to you by Dougie Beard. Tanner, Auto Club Speedway is one of the more unique speedways on the circuit. Large but flat. What challenges are the drivers going to face tonight?
Auto Club Speedway, like you said, a very unique speedway. It's a 2-mile racetrack, 14 degrees of banking tonight. It's a bumpy track, but a large track. Can produce some great fuel mileage races. It's definitely a flat track. And tire wear is going to be the biggest challenge for these guys. I see the track temperature is about 92 degrees, so maybe tire wear won't be that too big of a factor tonight. But tire wear will, if we do get a long green flag run, this track will eat up the tires. So, like I just said, if we do get a long green flag run, I do expect the guys come in for 4 fresh tires.
And let's have a look at this track from the driver's perspective with our GSRC lap guide.
Hello everyone and welcome to the Global Sim Racing channel. My name is Brian Yazik and I'll be taking you for a spin around the Auto Club Speedway in the GSRC Camaro. Auto Club shares a lot of traits with the Michigan International Speedway, located 3/4 way across the country from it. It's a big, wide, sweeping corners, 2-mile track, and it's a whole lot of fun for the drivers. So, on your hot lap, you're going to find this white line all the way down the front stretch. You're going to swing it out and almost look like you're going to drive straight into this sign right on the wall. Left about the 2 mark on the wall. Let it find the bottom of the corner. Get back into the gas as quick as you feel it's going to hook. If you get back in there too quick, the rear is going to jump around on you and you're going to end up into the fence. Heading down this long back stretch, seeing turn 3 enter your horizon. Sweeping down into the corner, find the white line once more, about half throttle, 3/4 throttle, then back into the gas and aim right for the exit of turn 4. Don't get too high, don't want to nullify your qualifying time. But with California, you get tire wear pretty much as soon as these cars roll off of the grid. So what you're going to see towards the end of a run is guys probably take a very high line through here, up about this second, third seam. And what that's going to allow you to do is get a great run off the center of the corner all the way down the backstretch and hopefully set up a pass on the guy in front of you getting down into turn 3. Turn 3, you're going to follow a slightly lower line, drive it right in here to the third seam, back down into the second. You're actually going to be able to get into the gas very fast and drive it straight off towards the wall into turn 4. And now you've got 5 lanes on the front stretch that you've got an opportunity to make a pass and secure a victory or at least a good finish in Auto Club. Tires are going to wear off quick. It's just going to put on a great show. It's a fan and driver favorite. So, without further ado, enjoy the race. My name is Brian Yazik, and this is the Auto Club Speedway.
Well, as we mentioned, it's the 8th round of the season, and usually you'd think that means the championship would be a bit spread out by now, but that is far from the case. Just have a look at the points here. The top 6 in points are only separated by 6. You only see the top 5 right there, and they're only separated by 6, but also sitting 6th in the points is Bryce Whitson, he is just 6 points back there, so you got Michael Krobach, Josh Jones, Robert Barney, Brody Hayes and Will Worsler there, all quite close together. Now you realise the clock has just ticked over and is now counting up. That is because the qualifying session is just about to start here, and the drivers will each have 2 laps to try and put on their fastest time. How close do you think the times will be here in qualifying, Tanner?
Oh, I think the times are going to be tremendously close. I mean, these guys are reaching about the 39s, high 39s here tonight. So with a fixed setup, I mean, I'm expecting the times to be really close.
And right now we are looking at the 16 cores machine. Going to be hard to miss that during this race. Robert Barney. Now Robert is a driver who usually prefers to start from the back of a field. However, we've seen him make exceptions to that rule at tracks where it's hard to pass. We'll wait and see where he ends up on the grid here. Now let's hand over to our pit reporter, Chris Scala. Chris, what have you been watching in the build-up to the race here?
Well, I think it's going to be very important, Samuel, to see the tire strategies. I heard mentioned earlier by Tanner. You're going to see cars out there pitting early. That's my expectation because tires are going to be a premium here. You're going to get 2-3 seconds faster than other cars in these pits, so it's going to be very important. I think you're going to see 4 tires every time. Maybe at the end of the race you could see some 2-tire strategy, but very, very unlikely. I think 4 tires is going to be the name of the game tonight.
And we've already had 3 drivers announce that they will not turn laps during qualifying. Todd Kirkwood, Dylan Eckert and Austin Missler. Now we have a 40-car field. The top 20 in the points are locked in. And then after that, 20 drivers have to race their way in. However, make that 21 drivers for this week. A driver sitting 20th in the points is not here tonight. Daniel Vining sitting 20th in the points. He was involved in a car crash earlier today. Car is total, but fortunately Daniel is fine. Understandably, I do not believe he is racing at all tonight, but we hope to see you back on the track soon, Daniel, and glad you're all right.
Yeah, definitely, Daniel. I hope to see you back on the track as soon as possible here on the iRacing Sim. Get well, buddy.
So, watching the middle portion of qualifying here, but as you see, the track is already very busy in the number 42 machine out there right now. That is being driven by Milt Matisse, and actually he just finished. And I can tell you right now that 32 is Jordan Harnish. He has been running that recognisable M&M's paint scheme for the last couple of weeks. Jordan always puts on some excitement out there for us. But right now it's Troy Haight who actually has the top time on the board. He is beating Jeffrey Belt by 0.04 of a second.
Yeah, definitely. And right behind him, you got Jeffrey Bell, War Whistler. We just talked about Robert Barney. Like you said, sometimes you like to start from the back. I mean, it's more of a challenge if you start from the back, but with an exception today, he's so far on the starting grid of 4th place. So if he's going to start 4th in this race, I watch him to be a factor towards the end of this race.
Now here's a driver, Chris Ginn, that we don't always speak about, but he always seems to be there in the top 10 at the end of a race. He currently sits 11th in the points, and I believe it's the top 10 in the points get to make the chase at the end of the season. So who knows, another top 10 tonight could knock him in.
Yeah, definitely. Chris Ginn is sitting right now on the grid 20th place, but I mean, he's been fast every week. I mean, he's able to clinch into the top 10 and have a good top 10 finish. So keep your eyes on Chris Ginn tonight.
You see 1 minute left of qualifying there, but it looks like everyone has turned on their laps, or 33 cars at least, and actually we don't have a full field here tonight. Looks like we have just 38 names, but 75 laps should still be a good show with 38 cars, and it will be Troy Haight leading them away. As we mentioned earlier, he has 0.04 of a second over Jeffrey Belt, so Troy Haight takes the True Power Pole Award there. Starting on pole position, behind them, Will Worsler in 3rd place, and Robert Barney in 4th place. Jamie Moore and Brian Yarzik round out the 3rd row.
And in 7th place, you got Bryce Whitson, who is going to start 7th tonight. Nick Cohan will start 8th. In 9th place, Brody Hayes. And in 10th place, Ted Emmenheiser. That's running off the top 10. Ty Hester outside the top 10 will qualify 11th. Looking forward for a great finish from him tonight. Let's see if he can get it done. Gary Whitson will qualify 12th.
Josh Jones, a name we're used to seeing towards the front there in 13th place, lined up alongside Milt Matisse. Tim Knott and Aaron Kleinhahn start behind them on the 8th row, and then Travis Lockhart and Norm Pelletier as the checkered flag officially flies on the qualifying session. And then we hand it over to Chris. Yeah.
Starting in the 19th place is Michael Krobach, and then rounding out the top 20 is Chris Jin. Outside the top 20, you have Jordan Harnish. In 22nd position, Jeffrey Gilliam. 23rd position, Travis McQuinston. 24th position, Mark Myers. And 25th position is Jonathan Holstein.
Yeah, and then rounding out the field here, we got Alan Young in 26th and Alex Bates 27th. Michael Koenig 28th, and rounding out the top 30 is Edward Bray and Travis Brown. And then rounding out the three cars put on the lap were Lee Staples, Steve Wetton and Louis Robinette. Dylan Eckhart, Austin Missler, Alex Guys, Jackie Palmore and Todd Kirkwood did not turn the lap in qualifying, and in fact Alex Guys isn't connected to the server right now, so it looks like we will have 37 cars starting this race.
Yeah, definitely a large field tonight. 37 cars, not a full field, but hey, I mean, you got time to get up to the front. It's a 75-lap race. See how the race goes and try to get that machine up to the front.
All right, well, the cars are getting gridded up. There'll just be one pace lap around here with the circuit being over a mile in length. And usually at these tracks, Auto Club Speedway Town, it's so large that, the draft is pretty strong. And we're going to see probably 3 or 4 wide at the start of a run. But as the tyres burn off as the run goes on, the field will get a bit spread out if a green flag flies for too long.
Yeah, definitely. It'll get spread out once the tires start wearing. But if we get like restarts, like you said, or even at the start of the race, some guys like to play it aggressive early on, take advantage of them fresh tires. And some guys like to lay back and chill out for a little while, see how the race goes, and then try to make your move up to the front, save your tires the best you can. But I do expect some 3 wide racing in this race, maybe 4 wide, but definitely 3 wide racing.
There goes the field. They're rolling out onto the track. And as we mentioned, there'll be 75 laps getting underway here momentarily. And the track temperature is actually cooled off a tiny bit, 90 degrees. So relatively cool here. But we'll wait and see how the cautions fly and how the pit stops happen. We've already talked about the tyre issues around here. Obviously, iRacing, the dynamic surface will change track as the race goes on. Maybe we'll see some preferred grooves as the race goes on. Early on though, the track is cold, the track is wide, and as Tanner just mentioned, probably going to see some 3 wide racing before they even get round to complete the first lap. Yeah,
definitely. Like I said, there could be some guys that will be aggressive early on, take ability of those 4 fresh tires that you currently have before they start wearing off. But at the same time, you want to take care of them tires, because if you start racing aggressively too early on, you might slip back early.
All right, Ford Mustang pace car leading them through turns 3 and 4 now. Troy Haight actually laying back a little bit. There goes the Mustang. It's making a hard left turn. Haight has control of the field, and the green flag is about to fly for 75 laps here. Auto Club Speedway, and it's out. Haight pulls away, and a horrible start by Jeffrey Belt. That's going to give second position to Will Walsh as they come across the line, and we're racing here in Fontana.
Yellow flag is out.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Everything's freaking out here.
Hello, we apologise for the technical difficulties. The field is coming down pit road for the first caution of the race after Dylan Eckert and a couple other cars were involved in a multi-car incident coming out of turn 4. We believe netcode may have had something to do with it, but Chris, it looks like they're all coming down pit road. Troy Hayter's leading them in after starting on pole.
Yes, they are. Everybody's on pit road as I'm seeing. Looks like you're going to probably see 4 tires and fuel, even though they've only completed 5 laps in the race. As everybody's in, no issues so far. Right side tires going on all cars. As I look, I see a couple cars starting to pull out here. Some 2-tire stops. Some surprise. Robert Barney going to be one. And a real close race on pit road, though, but a lot of 2-tire stops and some taking forward. This is going to mix up the field a little bit.
Yeah, it looks like Brian Yazik is going to lead the 2 tires off of pit road there, Turner. So, several machines taking 2 tires, and we're working our first caution. We're still having some minor technical difficulties. Fortunately, it's a long track here, so this caution's going to last a little while. We're going to take a quick break, and hopefully we'll have everything sorted out for you by the time these guys get restarted.
I'm ready.
Several drivers have taken 2 tires under this first caution. Several drivers still on pit road getting repairs. No free repairs in this series, and there were a few cars involved in that incident coming out turn 4. Josh Jones, Travis Lockoff, Jonathan Holstein and Lee Staples still in the pits getting repairs. However, the big story under this caution is Louis Robinette did not come down at all. He's going to be restarting in first position there, Tanner, on all tyres.
Yeah, definitely staying on old tires. Try that old tire strategy right away. And most guys, a lot of these guys actually are starting the two-tire strategy. Here we go. Pace car is in as a number 30 of Louis Robinette will get a green good
flag,
start
green
right
flag.
there on old tires. Side by side for second place there, Sam.
Hello and welcome back to Auto Club Speedway. We apologise again for the technical difficulties. Right now it's lap 15 out of 75, so hopefully we still have plenty of racing action ahead of us. You see Robert Barney has ran down Nick Cohan a bit here, battling for the lead after a bit of tyre strategy after the last stop. A few names that you won't see towards the front anymore are Louis Robinette, though that zero tyre strategy has not worked out for him. Will Warsler was running in the top 10 but got in the wall. Jeffrey Belt was also up there but spun coming off of turn 4, got down in the grass. It didn't bring out the caution, but here's a battle for the lead, Tanner.
Yeah, definitely side by side, or almost side by side down on the front stretch. The number 21 Nick Cohan will get the run on the high lane. You'll get more speed on the high side of the racetrack as Robert Barney still pressuring Nick Cohan down turns 1 and 2.
And that Napa car you see in the background is Brian Jarzik running in third position. Since we just came back, let's give you a rundown of the top order actually. You see the battle between Nick Cohan and Robert Barney. Brian Jarzik not too far behind. Gary Whitson has just moved his way up to 4th place ahead of Brody Hayes, but he has Bryce Whitson right behind him.
And right behind Bryce Whitson, you have Troy Hay, Ted Eimenheinzer, Ty Hester, and Milt Matisse rounding out the top 10.
They're putting 17 laps on the board right now. Nick Cohan has actually checked out a little bit over Robert Barney, and that means Brian Jarzik closes in on Barney for second position here.
Yeah, I'm looking a little further back towards the 10th place position here. You got Ted Eimenheinzer and Milt Matisse side by side. Oh, not anymore. Here comes the number 20 car of Jamie Moore. He wants a piece of this action to try to go for position, and I am liking those skulls on that number 3.
Yeah, I think Phil got churned up a little bit right there, because Travis Lotkoff, who has damage from the first incident, actually the only incident today that has brought out a caution, is off the pace. And for whatever reason, Robert Barney has lost 2 positions during that lap, and is now back to 4th after being 2nd last time around.
Yeah, definitely, and he's still being pressured here by Brody Hayes and Bryce Whitson Jr. That's for 4th, 5th, and 6th. All right there, single file. You can lay him over, fold him over a blanket right there. But Nick Cohan leads the way.
Indeed, he does. And Nick Cohan is a name we're used to seeing up front. However, I don't believe he's started every single race this season because he's not in the top 20 in points. We know he's fast from history, but he's proven he's fast tonight, leading the way around, hoping for a victory. He was 8th fastest in practice and 8th fastest in qualifying. A driver who was faster than him in both sessions is a driver who is looking on his rear bumper right now. That is Brian Jarzik chasing him down for that lead.
Yeah, definitely. He's been coming slowly but surely. That's another driver I've been going to keep an eye on for this race. I mean, he could be a real threat towards the end of this race here. Still trying to stay in his draft, get a little suck up behind it as they enter towards turns number 3. Can he try to make a move down turn 3? Nope, not quite there yet. So he should be catching him in the next couple laps. The way Brian's been fast.
And at the completion of this lap, you'll see it'll be the completion of lap 20 here. That means they've done a 12-lap run on these tyres. So we're beginning to get to a stage where if this run goes too much longer, any caution will probably bring them all down for 4. I see 2 tyres have definitely been paying off, Tanner, but staying out was definitely not the way to go for Louis Robinette. He is all the way back down to 28 now.
Yeah, no tires was definitely not the correct cause. We got a battle for the lead here. Brian Jarzik side by side with Nick Cohan. He's finally caught him as they head down turns number 3. Can he make it stick to the bottom? Nice clean pass right there. Brian Jarzik out front.
But for how much longer? Because I thought Cohan could have crossed over there.
He's riding that back bumper. He's doing a 2-car tandem here at Auto Club Speedway here, Sam.
Don't blame him, because Gary Whitson has really been picking up spots. I wonder if he took 4 tyres under the first caution, and because he has really been running these leaders down.
Yeah, he really has. And we have some info from Chris here, Sam.
Yeah, Chris Scallow, pit reporter. What's the info?
Yeah, just an update on Troy Hayde, who started on the pole in the 82. He was the first car that came off pit road with 4 tires. He has actually been the fastest car consistently on the track, is up into the 7th position. I think the longer we go into this run, eventually those 4 tires are going to catch the field and eventually take the lead. But it looks like 2 tires on this short run has been the way to go.
Yeah, 7th position sounds far back, but as you can see on your screen, that's definitely not the pace. All the top 7 are pretty much nose to tail, even about 15 laps into this run.
Yeah, definitely. Back on them tire topics there, that first caution that we had, a lot of guys took 2 tires. You got to remember, we only had about 5-6 laps on them tires, so maybe it could have been the right call to take 2 tires and get on out there for track position, and some guys may have been comfortable with taking the 4, but I don't think that no tire strategy was the correct call whatsoever. I think you need some kind of tires on your vehicle when you get a short run like that, but since we're getting a longer run as of right now, I think our next pit stop, we will be seeing more guys take 4 tires.
And let's not forget that these drivers are all racing with the fixed setup. The iRacing fixed setup, I believe, is what they're all using as a default one, is usually known for being a little bit tight, and if you only have a few laps on your tyres, taking right sides only can actually help free the car a little bit.
It definitely can, and some guys down turns 3 and 4 there, some guys may use the apron to get a little turn in the wheel there, but you got to be careful when you touch that apron 3 and 4 because you can definitely go for a spin. As of right now, I'm not seeing anybody doing that. Everybody's riding that bottom lane and having a nice run coming off. As you can see, Gary Whitson trying to do a little bump drafting here, a little drafting on Nick Cohan. Nick Cohan's doing pretty much the same thing as Brian Yazik.
Yeah, these drivers are really tight together, the top 3, and then you have a 4 car back from 4th to 7th position, which we'll have a look at in a moment. But right now, I'm really curious because Brian Yazik passed Nick Cohan for the lead, and I don't think Nick is in a hurry to go back by him.
That didn't sound any better. I was gonna say, I was listening to them up there. I'm like, hey, that don't sound any better. TeamSpeak decided to crash tonight. I don't know. It's like kind of sounding sketchy in here now. I'm like, okay. Well, it's been all green flag pit stops lately.
Anybody got a copy?
Test real briefing.
Test briefing.
Hello and welcome back to Auto Club Speedway. We once again apologise for the technical difficulties. Fortunately, we still have video. We think we figured out the problem now. And as you can see, they have finished their first round of green flag pit stops. And by pitting the first cars down pit road, the Whitson cousins have really benefited. They're running first and third right now. One of the big losers under the round of pit stop, so you saw on screen, was Robert Barney. Actually locked up the rear brakes coming down pit road and had to take to the grass to avoid from spinning out. He is all the way down in 17th now. What else did you see down pit road there, Chris?
It's just everybody 4 tires and fuel throughout the most part. It's really spread everybody out. One penalty I did notice that happened at a 47, a Todd Kirkwood speeding on pit road, so he had a black flag. Obviously, he had to serve. He's back in 31st now.
Well, the drivers restarted on lap 8 and they came into the pit road just before lap 30, Tanner. So we're seeing about 22 laps on fuel there, or maybe they could have gone a bit longer, but they kind of just followed the Whitson cousins once they came down pit road. That means we'll probably see them in pit road about lap 52 again, which of course puts them right on the edge of making it to the end of the race.
Yeah, definitely. And Auto Club Speedway is known for its fuel mileage races, so that's one thing we are going to have to keep an eye on as this race progresses. Another driver I am keeping an eye on is Ty Hester. He's up into the 4th position, having a great run today, no incidents whatsoever. Let's go, Ty, get it done.
Yeah, Ty Hester came out well after that round of stops. In fact, since we weren't really able to keep up with the race order during the end of last run and the pit stops, let's give you a rundown of the top 10. It's Gary Whitson currently leading Brian Jarzik by 1.3 seconds, another 1.3 seconds back to Bryce Whitson, then Ty Hester about half a second behind him, Michael Krobach about the same amount back in 5th. Then close behind them is Nick Cohan in 6th place, then you have to go back about a second to get to Brody Hayes in 7th. Also spaced out a bit, Milt Matisse having a nice race there in 8th place, about a second ahead of Aaron Kleinhans. Travis McQuiston, a couple of seconds behind him, rounds out the top 10.
Yeah, outside the top 10, I'm going to give you guys a little rundown here. Jeffrey Gilliam's in 11th place. Troy Haight, who led earlier on, sat on the pole in this race, is actually going to take a position away from Jeffrey Gilliam. He's now going to move up to 11th, so Jeffrey Gilliam's going to fall back to 12th place. 13th place is Travis Brown. Jamie Moore's in 14th. Jordan Harnish is currently 15th. Austin Missler, who started way in the back, 35th position, did not post a qualifying time. He's currently in the 16th position. Robert Barney, who we just talked about earlier, is now running in the 17th position, 17.8 seconds behind. Alan Young in 18th, Jeffrey Belton 19th, and Tim Knott rounding out the top 20, 23.5 seconds behind.
Yeah, we have 29 cars on the lead lap. There's 2 cars just 1 and then 2 laps down, Jackie Pelmore and Todd Kirkwood. Now, in our earlier incident, the only incident that has brought our caution, it has taken several cars out of contention. Stephen Wetton, Josh Jones, who has also had connection issues, Travis Lockhoff, Chris Ginn, Jonathan Holstein, and Lee Staples, all multiple laps down after that early wreck.
Good battle for 4th here, or 5th place, excuse me here, Sam.
Yeah, a few big names here, actually. You can go all the way up to 3rd here. Ty Hester racing side by side with Bryce Whitson. That's Michael Krobach and Nick Cohan right behind them.
Yeah, Michael Krobach, the championship point leader. You got Bryce Whitson, who's got a win under his belt this season. Ty Hester trying to get underneath him. Ty Hester's having a whale of a run today. Hopefully he's able to keep that up. And not too far behind Michael Krobach, Bryce, and Ty is Nick Cohan in the number 21 car.
So, the field circling around relatively incident-free. This is the best battle we have going on the track right now. Bryce Whitson not able to get the momentum he needs on the inside, and Krobach's going to go between them, try and make it 3 wide down the front straight.
Yes, sir. We're going 3 wide here, Sam, here at Auto Club, and there's plenty of room to do it. So, Ty Hester got on the radio and said something. I didn't quite catch what he said, but we're still both 3 wide. Now we're single file for 3rd. Or not single file, double file, excuse me. Getting a little excited here. Oh, contact! Uh-oh, contact! Bryce Whitson, this should bring out a caution, and it does.
Can Hester? Oh, Bryce rolls back up the track. Fortunately, no one hits him. I'm waiting to see if Ty can save it. He does.
Yeah, I think he's got a little heavy damage there, Sam. I'm seeing here. Oh, yeah, there was...
I mean, did Michael come down or did Bryce push up?
I think there was contact between Nick Cohan and Bryce, and when that contact happened, I think that's what pretty much ricocheted everything, and Ty Hester was just an innocent bystander right there.
Yeah, you're right. I apologize. I was looking at the wrong couple of cars right there. There you see it on the replay right there.
Yeah, it looks like, I don't know, from my point of view, it looks like Nick Cohan kind of clipped the left rear quarter panel of Bryce. And when that happened, it just ricocheted and turned into a big calamity fest. And Ty was just the innocent bystanders hanging on that outside lane.
Here we'll get a view from Michael Krobach, who was in front of it when it happened, because Michael pinches Bryce down here. Well, he doesn't really pinch, he's just running his line. But Bryce is slow on the exit and then gets a tap behind from Cohan, corrects and goes up into the wall where Ty Hester was. And Hester kind of rides the wall down the backstretch, was able to keep it pointing in the right direction, and bears a lot of damage on his machine. Meanwhile, the big winner after all that is Gary Whitson, because everyone's coming down pit road right now, and I have a feeling, Chris, they're all going to take 4 tyres.
I think that's going to be the strategy here. As you got about 30 laps to go. At first, I was starting to wonder if it's going to be a fuel mileage race. That went bye-bye because everybody should be able to make it no problem on fuel as Whitson brings them down the second longest pit road in all of NASCAR here at Auto Club Speedway. And he's going to be into a stall here, which actually has a gap behind him there. It looks like 4 tires, right side's going on right now. Looks like crew going to work their way towards the left side. I don't see anybody on pit road taking 2 tires at the moment. Whitson going to be down and away. 4 tires in fuel, and the race off pit road is going to be a close one. And it looks like actually Whitson's going to get it. Off of pit road, looks like Yoxic going to be second, Cohan going to be third in the battle off pit road. Everybody 4 tires in fuel.
Yeah, I'm seeing Ty Hester down on pit road here. He's going to stay on pit road to repair some of that damage. It looks minor, but, I mean, I do see some heavy damage, at least on that left rear and the left front.
Now, the problem is, even minor damage around here, Tanner, there's such high speeds at this track, even with not that much banking, that you kind of want all those fenders as flat as you can.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Aerodynamics means everything here at the Auto Club Speedway. So, I mean, you want to try to get every piece of damage repaired, and once you do, try to go on the racetrack and do your best, even if you're hurting on the straights a little bit, because the draft and the speed means everything at Auto Club.
So, Gary Whitson, the big winner after those two, after pit strategy all played out. He came down pit road before anyone else and was able to use fresher tyres to leapfrog the field. Field never really got a chance to challenge him because not too much later the caution flag flew. They all came down pit road for 4 tyres, and Gary will lead them back to the green here momentarily at Auto Club Speedway. The pace car lights are staying on for another lap, so we're going to take a quick break. We will be back for the closing laps. Who knows, they might even be able to make it to the end here without another caution at the Auto Club Speedway. Pace car lights are off, about half a lap away from going back to green flag. But Chris, you've noticed some interesting developments down pit road.
I did, because one thing I haven't noticed and learned recently is the fact there's 60% fuel in this league, which when you look at fuel mileage, 40 to 45 laps on a tank of fuel normally, 60% of that, about 25 laps. You got about 29 to go as we take the green flag. A couple names that pitted, Missler, also Alan Young, and Whitson and Palmore all pitted with about 2 to go to green, so it could be interesting.
Yeah, and that would be Bryce Whitson, who we believe may have lost a lap under caution here. We'll wait because he was involved in the incident there. Gary Whitson, though, is about to lead the field back to green here as the Ford Mustang pace car is off, and it is Brian Yazik on to his outside. Lap 46 on the books, as Chris mentioned, 29 laps left to go. Good restart by Whitson, not so great a restart by Yazik, and it's Krobach in second, and they're going 3 wide.
Yeah, definitely 3 wide racing. Here comes the number 37 of Brody Hayes. He is not afraid to take a 3 wide. But actually, they're all going to sort each other out here. They're going to leave Brian hanging on the high side there without any drafting. Here it comes on the backstretch here. He's going to hung up by the wall right there, get behind the number 7 of Michael Krobach. So far, he's getting a little draft as you got a little 2-car tandem pushing here from the 21 of Nick Cohan to the number 37 of Brody Hayes.
Yeah, and the only driver in the top 4 who doesn't have a win so far this season just got in the wall.
Yeah, Brian Yazik got into the wall coming off turn number 4. I was hoping that was not going to happen because he was having a strong run, maybe one of the fastest cars on the racetrack today. Didn't really hurt him that much, lost a couple of positions, but hopefully he can get right back up there. It looks like it's minor damage to number 15.
Hopefully, but it has cost him a lot of time. He's right now running alongside Travis Brown. Travis Brown having a good race and 7th.
Yeah, definitely. He started all the way back in the 30th position, all the way up to 7th place. So great run for Travis Brown. And right behind them, you got Travis McQuiston, who started 23rd. And behind them, you got Jordan Hardish, who started 21st. So some guys are making their presence known.
But in front of all of them is Michael Krobach. He's looking to the inside of Gary Whitson for the top spot as they head into turn 1.
Oh yeah, and here we go side by side for the race lead. Michael Krobach, the championship point leader, gets the lead away from Gary Whitson in the 13, and not too far behind. Pressure in the 13 is going to be the number 37 of Brody Hayes. Looks like Gary kind of wants it back. He's sticking a nose out just a little bit. I don't think he's got the big run to get it. No, he will not. Entering turn 3.
So, Michael Krobach now as the leader of the field. As we mentioned, these 3 leaders all here all have a win so far this season. I can't recall off the top of my head if Nick Cohan does their 4th, but right now I don't think Cohan can be thinking about the win too much. These top 3 have really pulled out a lead over him.
Yeah, definitely, and Krobach is just pulling these guys along. But another driver I thought would make a little noise with these top 3 cars would be Nick Cohan. He's kind of slipped back just a little bit. Brian Yazik actually just got by Milt Matisse down there in turns 1 and 2, so he ain't hurting too bad on that right side damage there.
Yeah, and to confirm, Cohan does not have a win so far this season. That surprises me a little bit because he is a driver usually up there. The only winners so far this year have been Michael Krobach, Josh Jones, Brody Hayes,
that
Will
second place is heating up.
That's second.
Yeah, that's sorry to interrupt you, Sam. That second place was heating up. He was starting to draft him coming off the exit of the corner there. So I thought he would have accidentally swung there, but so far it's clean racing from all these guys. Brody Hayes trying to look towards the outside on Gary Whitson. Looks like he wants the outside lane. That's the lane he's going to choose. Got a lap car coming up ahead here. Shouldn't be too much of a factor.
As Lee Staples has got a lot of damage from that first wreck of the race. There have only been 2 cautions so far, although these 2 drivers battling for second could soon change that. Brody Hayes and Gary Whitson continue to run side by side. That's allowing Krobach to run away a little bit.
Look at this mess back towards the 10th position. You got Robert Barney, the number 97, Travis Brown, Troy Haight, Jamie Moore. They were 3 wide about a lap ago. As you got the number 67 going, that's Jeffrey Belt going trying to get underneath Jamie Moore. It's a pretty good battle for the 10th spot here, Sam.
Let's not forget that Jeffrey Belt and Robert Barney are both trying to make up ground because they have both been in the grass today. Robert Barney when he was trying to get into the pits, and Jeffrey Belt had a moment coming out of turn 4 under green flag. Meanwhile, the battle for second has broke up, and Brody Hayes has really been running Michael Krobach down.
Yeah, definitely. He's right now. He got by Nick Cohan earlier. Got by Gary Whitson. Now 1 more car to go, and that's Michael Krobach, the race leader. And so far, he's only about a 10th away, getting close to that back bumper there, trying to get the good run on exit. Let's see if he can get side by side on the backstretch. Maybe not. Not this time by, but he is definitely catching Krobach, trying to stay in that draft and trying to get the good run on the exits.
Now, Chris, right now, pit road is a very quiet place, but do you think there could be some drivers soon who might come into the pits and try and short stop for the end.
You know, Sam, I'm thinking about that myself. I wouldn't be surprised to see short pitting, but if it's going to happen next 5 laps, I would say it's got to happen, because right now we're about 10 laps into this run. We got about 21 laps to go, so you probably want to do this 15, 16, 17 laps to go, or you might wait too late. So if you're going to see it, it's going to be the next couple laps.
Yeah, definitely. And Brody Hayes actually made contact with Michael Krobach entering turn number 1. Looks like he was hitting his back bumper there, kind of like a bump draft there. Maybe try to get Krobach out of shape, maybe get him a little loose there. But so far, the leaders remain the same. And back on Chris's topic, it wouldn't surprise me either if someone short pitted. And the guy I think that would short pit would be Gary Whitson. I mean, he's done it before in this race. I've seen him do it in past races, and he more than likely will probably do it again. So if he does short pit, that's a little advantage right there.
Yeah, I've got to think all of these drivers sitting in the top 5 right now, if they don't have a win and they want one, they're probably going to think about short pitting, because that's really the only way I think they're going to get by Michael Krobach and Brody Hayes right now, with Krobach, Hayes and Whitson have a bit of a gap over Kohan and Jarzik, not a lot mind you, and let's not forget that Jarzik is also trying to make up from getting in the wall not too long ago.
Yeah, definitely. And right now he's trying to hunt down Nick Kohan for position. He has gained a little bit on Kohan. It's about 2/10 back from Kohan, so staying in his draft and not too far behind them is Milt Matisse in the number 42 car. So these guys are starting to make their presence felt, and it looks like to me here Kohan is gaining little by little on the 13 car of Gary Whitson. So far it's some great racing here at Auto Club.
Yeah, it was a 3-car pack distancing itself from the cars in front. I don't know if it's as much Whitson catching Hayes as it is, as it is Kohan catching Whitson as it is Whitson falling back from the lead pack, because he may have burned his tyres off here.
Tell you what, 8th, 9th, 10th place, 11th place, 12th place, all these guys, they were racing pretty aggressively for the past couple laps, and they still kind of are. They're all still on the, right now it's kind of fanned out just a little bit, but man, they're trying to get their positions early here.
Yeah, there's been a lot of intense racing going on throughout the field. 2 wide, 2 roads deep, a couple of 3 wide scenarios, but you can do that around here. Auto Club Speedway is such a wide racing surface.
Gary Whitson losing several positions here. I don't know what is going on with Gary. He's on the bottom. He might be pitting here, Sam. I'm not sure. He's on the bottom of the racetrack. No, he's not. He was just on the bottom of the racetrack. I figured the bottom groove would be the way to go here, but he's losing quite a few positions on one lap. And Milt Matisse just got on the radio and just said, "Are you all right, Gary?"
Well, I wouldn't say Gary was pitting that lap. Obviously, he didn't, but he should. Because he is definitely losing time right now. Come in, get those new tyres, jump everyone else on this final round of stops.
Holy cow, I'm surprised he's losing. I mean, he was hanging with our leaders really well, and all of a sudden he just dropped like a rock on one lap. I mean, he lost like, 4 or 5 positions in one lap. So, and then not behind him, you got Robert Barney, who is quickly catching him as well. Going around the outside, maybe, I don't know what's going on with Gary. These guys are getting a huge run on him.
Has iRacing invented blown cylinders and not told us?
I have no idea. I mean, I kind of wish that would happen because it would make things more exciting, personally. But I mean, holy cow, I am not sure what happened. Maybe the tires are starting to go out on that 13. Battle for the lead, Sam.
Oh, it's a possibility. Chris, you have a theory, but meanwhile we're looking this battle for the lead as Michael Krobach gets passed by Brody Hayes. You have a theory about what Gary might be doing here.
I think he's saving fuel for the finish, because I'm looking at his speeds on the straightaway, and he's letting off down the straightaway. I really think this is Gary saving fuel to try to win this race without pitting.
Krobach coming into the pit, so Krobach is not going to save fuel. Wow, I didn't think this would be starting this early, but look behind Gary Whitson right now. They're 3 wide.
Oh, man, intense racing here at the Auto Club Speedway. I think Gary Whitson's trying to save some gas. Maybe he can make it, but I like this call right here. Michael Krobach down pit road right now. He just hit the lap 60 mark, so that he should be about 15 laps. So by pit early like this, and Brody Hayes just got on the radio that he's going to pit, so everybody is now going to pit after they see Michael Krobach pit.
Let's not forget that they could just be racing to lap 70 because iRacing doesn't have green-white checkers. Into the pits comes Brody Hayes. Nick Kohan takes the top spot.
Michael Krobach exiting the pit road, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I'm going to have to take a little rewind here to take a look at it, but I think Michael Krobach took 2 tires.
Well, the advantage to that is that Krobach has came out on the lead lap, so even if a caution flag flew, his game would not be over unless, of course, the cars who haven't pit chose to stay out under the caution to save fuel.
And to confirm that, Michael Krobach in the number 7 did take 2 tires, so that's going to gain a little time if everybody else takes 4 tires here, Sam.
Brian Jarzik comes into the pits, couple cars following him in. Gonna have to keep an eye if anyone comes back down for any speeding penalties.
Oh yeah, you do not want a speeding penalty at a place like this, because I believe the pace speed down on pit road here is like 50, 55 miles an hour, and these guys are going about 175, 180 on the back stretch, and maybe about 190, 95 on the front stretch in these NASCAR Xfinity cars here on the iRacing sim. So a penalty will definitely hurt you and end your chances to win this race.
Alright, how many tires did Brody Hayes take? That's a question. I have a feeling it's 4, because Michael Krobach is right now about 2 seconds in front of him, I believe. They came back out on track, and if Hayes has taken 4, he should start running down Krobach.
I would think if Krobach took 2 tires and Brody Hayes would take 4, that would be a bigger gap than 2 seconds. I mean, that's just my opinion. I would have to take a look back to see what Brody really took, but that would just be my opinion.
Guys, I can answer that question for you, actually. It was 2 for Hayes and 4 for Jarzik, but 2 for Krobach, 2 for Hayes, 2 for Jarzik, and I think Krobach got the position by pitting a lap earlier.
Okay, so
Wow.
with that being said, yeah, I mean, two tires right there. So if this race stays green, I am going to bet this race is going to come down between Hayes and Krobach, because Jarzik actually just went 1 lap down at the moment. I'm not got a bunch of cars that did stay out currently.
Yeah, well, Krobach and Hayes on the tail end of the lead lap. Nick Cohan is actually the next car behind Hayes. But I've got to argue with you here, Tanner. I think it's going to be Michael Krobach walkaway. Whatever happened, those 2 tires 1 lap earlier really gave him a heck of a gap over Brody Hayes.
You know, and you are right. I mean, it's a 2-second gap. Right now, we're coming on with like lap 64 here, 65. So we're about almost 10 laps to go. So far, 11 laps to go. So if, let's see here, if Brody Hayes does not catch at least a second over the number 7 of Michael Krobach, I mean, if he does not start catching him now, because right now you got to catch him, right? No ifs, ands, buts about it. You got to catch him right now. If you don't, your race is over.
That's all, of course, providing a caution doesn't fly, and there's a whole pack of cars coming out of turn 2 right now that could change Dylan Eckhart leading a pack of machines. They're going through turn 3. Dylan's actually in 5th position right now as pit stop cycles through. Robert Barney comes into the pits.
Another driver that's drastically saving fuel is Gary Whitson. I tell you what, he's letting a lot of guys by. Last time by, he ran a 43.39.2. He is definitely saving fuel. I mean, that's more of a car that's just off the pace, but technically he's just trying to save some gas to make it to the end.
So it could come down between Gary Whitson and Michael Krobach. That's really what we have to keep our eye on here. Where's Michael in relation to Gary? Gary's on the middle of a backstretch. There he is, half a lap behind.
Yeah, definitely. You got Gary Whitson here. He is about 7.5 seconds behind the race leader. Krobach is about 32, or actually 33 seconds behind the race leader. So that's a pretty big gap there, Sam, between Krobach and Whitson if you do the math.
Of course, it all remains to be seen if Whitson would even have enough fuel to make it to the end, even if he does continue on this fuel. Oh, one car got on the wall right on camera there.
Yeah, you don't want that whatsoever, because I think a bunch of guys will try to... They'll reckon. Caution's out, and that's going to change it up. That's the number 56.
Not too far behind the incident we just had, Norm Pelletier pointing the wrong way out of turn 2.
As they say, this changes everything.
Who wins here? Who's the big win? I'm gonna guess it's Gary Whitson. Oh, Norm took a hard hit there.
Oh yeah,
But
nasty hit.
if Gary saved enough fuel, well, have the cars in front of him saved enough fuel?
That's the biggest question. That's a lot of cars to be ahead of Gary. You got Jeffrey Belt, Jeffrey Gilliam, Alan Young, Dylan Eckhart, Travis McQuiston, and Nick Cohan. Nick Cohan's been up front all race long. I mean, we'll have to see if these guys come down pit road. If they do, I would assume to take 4 tires, but where in the world would that leave Michael Krobach and Brody Hayes if that happens?
I can't imagine you could pit for tires because of a caution. There's 7 laps left to go as it is. If a caution flies on the restart, the race is over. Even if a caution doesn't fly on the restart, there will only be 3 or 4 laps to go. It looks like we've lost picture right now, but Cohan
nope.
fakes it.
Cohan fakes it, definitely. And where does Gary end up here?
Hey, one car spinning.
Oh, we got a car spin here, Sam. That's the
24?
Yeah, I think it's Young. Yeah, Alan Young.
Who else is in the pit there, Chris? I saw some cars coming in.
Yeah, right now Travis McQuiston, the first one on pit road. It looks like I'm seeing Dylan Eckhart on pit road, Jeffrey Gilliam, Travis Brown. Not many cars pitting from this front of the pack, which kind of surprised me. I expected to see more, but only about 4 cars from the front pitting here. This is going to be very interesting to see what these cars can do with 4 tires and fuel.
Now, with that spin of Alan Young at the entrance of pit road, he was trying to fake it, and when that happened, I think he was in first gear, and he tried to fake it, and it just spun on him with them old tires. So I don't know if with that little spin that happened, is that going to play a big effect on his tires? I think so.
Well,
Not
also,
the first.
well, Sam, I'm going to step on you. I also plant this for you too. You got your first 4 are the guys who haven't pitted, and then you got the guys who pitted under green right there in 5th.
Yeah, and Ted Emenheiser, meanwhile, just took the DSD Lucky Dog, the Derek Spears designed Lucky Dog there. The first car 1 lap down, so he'll go back on the lead lap in that number 3 machine. That'll put 18 cars on the lead lap. But as you mentioned, we got 4 cars at the front of the field on old tyres, and who may or may not have enough fuel to make the end. Nick Cohan, Travis McQuiston, Jeffrey Bell, and I'm reading them incorrectly here. Nick Cohan, Alan Young just came into the pits, Jeffrey Bell and Gary Whitson.
Okay, so with all that being said, I think the guy to watch right now is Jeffrey Gilliam, sitting in 5th place. I know he's on 4 fresh tires. He just recently pitted. Actually, everything's resetting on me here as I'm clicking away. That's actually going to send him outside the top 10.
Yeah,
Gilliam, okay.
He was one who came in.
Okay, yeah, so Jeffrey Gilliam is going to be 12th. Excuse me, so that might be a little too far back, but I don't know. How do you think this is going to play out, Sam? You got Nick Cohan, the race leader, Jeffrey Belt, there's Gary Whitson. Those guys, I believe, are going to stay out to try to make this on fuel and whatnot. So, and right behind them, you got Michael Krobach and Brody Hayes, who we know who are fast, and we know they got fuel, and they both got right-side tires. How do you think this is going to play out?
Nick Cohan is going to get a jump on the rest of the field when the green flag flies. And if a caution comes out really quickly and ends the race, Cohan takes the win. If that doesn't happen, Krobach and Hayes, I think, are going to get by Belt and Whitson fairly easily on those new tyres, and I think it'll be one of those 2. I think it's Cohan, Krobach, and Hayes you're looking at for the win here, and Cohan is the only one of those drivers who doesn't have a win so far this season.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, man, this is a little intense here. Now, providing if we don't get a caution, let's just say we do get a caution, keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, that iRacing does not have green-white checkers. So if we go green here and a caution does come out, the race is over with. So these guys right now who are up front are hoping it goes green, but Nick Cohan is hoping for a caution.
5 laps left to go as they cross the line and the pace car lights go off. That means we will have 4 laps left to go at the restart. Chris, are we missing anything here?
No, I think this is going to be very exciting. You got your top 3 on 27 lap tires. Then you got 4th Krolak, and Brody Hayes, those guys on 10-lap tires, but only right sides. Your first guy with 4 fresh tires is Misquiston, I believe that's how it's pronounced. He's going to restart 9th, it looks like. And you got Yazik, who took 4 on that last pit stop during green. So you got a mixed bag of tricks here, and you got to watch for wheel spin out of these leaders, too.
Oh, man, that wheel spin. Oh, I hope nobody has any wheel spin, because if that's the case, hopefully they can spin towards the infield to where it doesn't trigger the iRacing caution system. So we'll see how this all plays out. You got Nick Cohan, Jeffrey Belt, Gary Whitson, Michael Krobach, and Brody Hayes, the top 5.
All right, we're about to find out. Half a lap until the green flag comes back out. Nick Cohan in the 21 machine on the inside in the red car. On the outside is the blue car, the number 67 Toyota Camry, being driven by Jeffrey Belt. Boy, what a day he's had. He spun through the grass, worked his way back up through the field, has stayed out here and is restarting in second. I don't think he'll walk away with a win, but he could be there with the top 5. We could be speaking to him in the post-race interviews. We're about to find out, because the Ford Mustang pace car is about to make a hard left turn. Do these top 3 even have enough fuel to make it to the end? And do they have the tyres? Cohan is on the loud pedal early. He leads them away.
Oh no, here we go.
Green flag
racing. 67 was caught sleeping. Maybe he spun his tires, but they're going to definitely put him in the sucker hole. And clowns to the left of me and jokers to my right. Here we go.
Yeah, and that hurt Michael Krobach. Remember, we were talking about Krobach and Hayes on the newer tyres there, and Belt rushes up. They go 4 wide.
4 wide at Auto Club. Oh, Robert Barney. Oh, they're spinning, they're wrecking. Caution is out. The race is over.
And it's Cohan in front. Well, Jeffrey Belt had a big ride there, and unfortunately, I think you could say he may have helped trigger that one. He just didn't get a good restart. He got shuffled out. It was 4 wide on the outside. That part's not really his fault.
Nope, didn't make it. Wow, that was a huge wreck here at Auto Club.
Yeah, because Belt overshoots the turn and goes 4 wide. And the problem here is that's just racing. He just ended up 4 wide the way the race was going. And now he's in no man's land. Well, the problem is he can't slow down. And he can't go out any wider than he is. Oh, and actually the cars underneath, they kind of made contact. And you could argue that may have even happened even if Belt hadn't been off the pace.
I'm not quite sure if the 00 had to drift up the racetrack or got tied or something, but I think that was the trigger right there. And then calamity all over the place on that backstretch. But holy cow, what a wreck.
It's the number 1 machine of Dylan Eckhart who we saw up front early on.
Yeah, definitely. That's very unfortunate for these guys to... I mean, you're coming down to the end of the race. I mean, you're racing for position. Everybody's just trying to do everything that they can to get a position. So, I mean, it's just... number 97, Travis Brown just blew up.
Yeah, this race is not over, Chris.
No, it's not. And the interesting thing, I'm listening to Cohan a little bit here, is he just made mention in a comment that he was banking on a caution here. He was not going to make it on fuel if it stayed green. So can he make it to the finish now? It's going to be interesting.
He's still got to cross the line at the end of lap 75. It's lap 74 right now. Brody Hayes was able to move up into second place because what happened on the restart there, we talked about. Had it gone green to the end, it would have been a race between Brody Hayes and Michael Krobach. Well, Michael got bogged down by Jeffrey Belt on that start, so Brody Hayes was the one running Cohan down.
Yeah, definitely. Brody Hayes was actually on the bottom of the racetrack. We start on the bottom, and Krobach start on the outside, and that's where the number 67 car, Jeffrey Belt, started. He was in the second position, and he just didn't go. I have no idea what happened there, but it definitely held up Michael Krobach, and there was really nothing Michael Krobach could do. You just don't want to run over the guy, you know what I mean?
So they have, it's a 2-mile lap. Right now they've got about 2.5 miles to go. That's a lot of distance.
You think Nick Cohan's clutching it or turning off that car?
It's a possibility. He's about to take a white flag here. Brody Hayes is in second behind him, Gary Whitson third, Robert Barney fourth, and Troy Hayton fifth.
Hey, what a recovery from Robert Barney there, Sam. I mean, he got into some early trouble early in the race. I think he did hit the outside wall, and there he is. He's going to get a top 5 finish here tonight.
Yeah, your pole sitter there, Troy Hayton, fell back a bit in the middle of the race, but he's coming back. He's going to salvage a top 5 here. Gary Whitson, he's saved enough fuel. I think he'll be able to make it.
Yeah, I think these guys will be able to make it now. Right, we are on the white flag lap of this race, so if they can, as long as they don't run out of gas like right now, they'll have to do their best to try to coast down that backstretch. But wouldn't that be something if they ran out of gas right now?
Well, Cohan wasn't on the apron in turns 1 and 2 there, which tells me that he probably thinks he's safe now.
Yeah, Auto Club doesn't have a lot of banking, but I mean, still, if you're trying to save gas, you would want to try to get to that apron, any kind of flat spot on the racing surface or on the surface whatsoever. So I think he'll make it along with Gary Whitson. But Brody Hayes, man, if that caution would have come out, I believe he would have caught him.
Of course, something else we're going to have to mention is a championship here with Michael Krobach. He was leading the points coming in. He's going to get a 7th. Josh Jones was 2nd in the points coming in. He was involved in that early incident and then had connection issues, so he's no longer part of the race. Robert Barney could come out of here with the championship lead. Who knows? We'll have to get it calculated after the race. But Cohan, he can roll it from here. He is going to take his first win of the year at Auto Club Speedway.
Wow, what a race here. I was hoping this would turn to a fuel mileage race. It sort of did, but unfortunately we had about 2 cautions towards the end there. But great win for Nick Cohan.
And we will get to talk to your top finishers just momentarily here on the GSRC. Congratulations, Nick of Dizzy Motorsports, on his first win here of the year. And I think he has run out of fuel on the cooldown lap.
Oh boy, not enough fuel for the donuts. But what counts is that he passed the line on the checkered flag on the last lap, and that's what counts most. So maybe he'll have to try to get that number 21 machine to victory lane, get a push there.
And he is speeding up a little bit down the backstretch. I wonder if Krobach was just giving him a little tap up the back there. Congratulatory. Well, we'll congratulate Cohan ourselves, and we'll get to speak to him momentarily on the GSRC. Don't go away. Hello and welcome back to Auto Club Speedway, where we just witnessed the 8th round of the iROC HPP Simulation Grand National Series live on the Global Sim Racing channel, and it was Nick Cohan who came away with the victory under a caution flag, but that's kind of how he needed it to play out for his strategy to work, and it worked. Brody Hayes came home in 2nd place and Gary Whitson in 3rd. Robert Barney was able to salvage a 4th place finish ahead of Troy Haight, who sat on the pole. Brian Jarzik, Michael Krobach and Travis McQueestion, who started 23rd, finished there in 8th place. Alan Young and Jeffrey Gilliam rounded out the top 10 there, Tanner.
Outside the top 10 finish, you got Milt Matisse finishing in 11th. Mark Myers finishes 12th tonight, coming from the 24th position. Aaron Kleinhans finishes 13th. Ted Eimenheinzer finishes 14th. Dylan Eckhart finishes in the 15th position. Bryce Whitson, who was a front runner early in the race, will finish in the 16th position. Jackie Pelmore finishes 17th. And now we are getting to the cars who are down a lap or more. 18th position is Tim Knott, first car 1 lap down. Alex Bass in 19th. And Jamie Moore finishes 20th.
Yeah, and then behind him we have Michael Koenig, also a lap down. A lot of cars are lap down in the end. I have a feeling this is because of the late strategy games. Jordan Harnish in 22nd, Edward Bray and Will Warsaw the way back in 24th. Austin Missler 25th, and Louis Robinette, we saw him try that zero tyre strategy early on in the race back in 26th. Ty Hester got caught up in an incident back in 27th, Norm Pelletier 28th. First car 2 laps down was Travis Brown in 29th, and then Jeffrey Belt in 30th.
Outside the top 30, the last car 2 laps down is Todd Kirkwood, finishes in the 31st position. Now these upcoming drivers who finished more than finished multiple laps down, and that is Lee Staples in the 32nd position, Steve Witten in the 33rd position, Josh Jones will come home 34th, Chris Ginn finishes 35th, Travis Lakoff finishes 36th, Jonathan Holstein finishes 37th, and Alec Gies, who did not turn a lap tonight, will finish 38th.
So those were the drivers who did not have as good races, but we have been able to catch up with the top 2 finishers here, and Tanner, you have caught up with our 2nd place finisher, Brody Hayes.
Yes, sir, I have caught up with Brody Hayes, and Brody, man, if that caution wouldn't have came out, I think you may have had something for Nick Cohan. What do you think?
I definitely believe I had something for him. I know I still had 2 good right side tires, and I know he was going to be close on gas, and I had such a run out of 2. I was hoping that I was going to stay green there, but happy for Nick, happy he got the win. It was a good 1-2 finish for Dizzy Motorsports, so that was cool.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if that caution would have came out, you probably would have had something for him there. You've been fast all race long. At one time, you're bump drafting drivers, pushing drivers, and I think there was one time you made some contact with Michael Krobach down turns 1 and 2 for the race lead. Tell me something here. With the tires, was there a big tire concern today? Like, were the tires the biggest difference in today's race?
They were. As the run went on, you definitely got tighter and tighter. In turn 2, you would definitely start pushing towards that wall more and more, and it just ate them up. What we found was if you took 2 tires, it loosened the car up, and it was pretty much the same as 4 tires, if not better. So that's what we decided to do, and in the long run, it helped us out.
Oh, yes, definitely. That's what Sam was saying before, that you put 2 tires on, the car will actually turn out looser. So, and it looks like you guys were getting a little looser towards the end of the run there. Well, before we let you go, and so you can enjoy your 2nd place finish today, is there anything else on your mind that you would like to say before we let you go?
Just congrats to Nick and Dizzy Motorsports for a good run tonight. It was good racing with everybody there tonight. Give a shout out to my dad for watching and everybody else who was supporting us. Looking forward to Martinsville and the trucks next week. That'll definitely be a fun race.
Martinsville Speedway, one of my favorite short tracks, definitely. So thank you for coming and talk with us here, Brody. And I believe Chris is caught up with our race winner, Nick Cohan.
Yeah, I tell you what, man, the drinks are flowing down here in Victory Lane right now as we have Nick Cohan. And Nick, I tell you what a great finish and a great race for you. You talked about, or you made the strategy move to stay out there towards the end. Talk about that and the move that got you here.
Yeah, unbelievable. Made it on fuel. Can't believe can't believe I made it that far on field. It's just unbelievable. I was not going to make it on field if we stayed green. I really was upset on the radio when we went to pit and everybody pit but me. And I should have pit. At the time, I was mad because I knew I didn't have enough fuel. I was saving a lot, but I didn't think I was going to make it. But I had to gamble somehow. And I stayed out, and I got real frustrated that everybody else pit. But I was just praying for a real quick caution, and I can't believe it actually came exactly the way I was hoping there off turn 2. But just unbelievable, to be honest with you.
It's a great win, and you know what? It takes some luck sometimes to win a race, but a 1-2 for Dizzy Motorsports, that's got to make you happy.
Oh yeah, definitely. We were talking that during the race. We just thought, man, I don't know if we have the speed to win this thing. You know, we have to try and win it on strategy. And then, you know, I was sitting there on a restart with worn tires, no fuel, and Brody's 5th, and I said to him at the end of the race, I said, man, I would have never thought we were going to finish 1-2 like that. It's quite amazing. And quick little funny story, my other team owner for Steel Horse Racing, who supplies our engines over here at Dizzy Motorsports, jokingly said to me before the race tonight, he said, if you don't win tonight, you're fired. So I guess I'm still on the team.
That's never a bad thing. Congratulations on that, too. Job security is always a good thing. But I want to go back to an incident earlier in the race. There was the backstretch. On camera, it looked very close. Is there any contact there, or talk about the incident there?
There was definitely contact. I haven't gone back to look at the replay yet. I don't know what happened. I like I said to Bryce during the race, as far as I felt, I held my line as best as I could there. I didn't come up. I saw him wiggle a little bit. I don't know what happened. Like I said to him, I said, I'm sorry if it was me, but I can't see the replay right now, and I apologize. But I really felt like I held my line there. I just went to make it 3 wide off 2. I was on about about 4 or 5 laps. I was probably more than that lap, better lap tires than the rest of those guys there. So I was trying to get moving there and just went to go 3 wide off 2, and just I think it was just a racing incident, to be honest with it. And like I said, I apologize if it was anything more than that.
Well, Nick, congratulations, and you got anything else you want to add?
No, I just got to thank CJ Automotive, Dizzy Motorsports, and Jason Swan at Steel Horse Racing, K&N, and all you guys for putting this together. I really appreciate it, and everybody at iROC for keeping this league going. It's a great league.
Well, then, congratulations, and Sam, I must say, fuel mileage came down to it, and, well, next to California King.
Absolutely, and it's unfortunate to see that usually some of the best races that we have had in 2016 have finished under the caution flag, but as Nick said, he was glad to see that yellow because that helped give him the victory at the end of the day there. Caution flew just 4 times today. The points are going to get shaken up a little bit, and this series will be back in action 2 weeks' time at Texas Speedway. We will be back at Martinsville. Actually, these guys will be back at Martinsville though next week, but they will be racing in their truck series, so be sure not to miss that. Although I'll be honest, we'll probably see a few more caution flags there. We would like to thank the organisers and the competitors in the iROC HPP Simulation Grand National Series for coming here tonight and putting on a great show. We would like to thank the makers of the various software and hardware that you see listed on your screen. Thanks to the team today, Tanner Sharp, Joe Peak, Chris Scala, Jason Garvin, and our camera guru, Dougie Beard. If you would like to find out more about GSRC, you can find it at www.globalsimracingchannel.com, along with archived races and upcoming broadcasts. We're also on Twitter at GSR Channel and Facebook at facebook.com/globalsimracingchannel. A special thank you we're going to send out to Eric Ekholm and Casey Lalonde, who provide us with our music. You can buy Eric's on iTunes and Spotify, and Casey's at caseylalonde.bandcamp.com. All of our upcoming races for our other series are on screen, so be sure to check those out. Mark them down on your calendar and don't miss another second of exciting racing action. But until next time, race clean, race hard, and we'll see you on the track.